Hi, I'm John Mallis. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Wednesday morning. Glad you're here. Today we're talking with members of the SPCA. That's right, it's Adopt a Wednesday here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. And so the second half of the program, we're going to have somebody from the Teachers Union in to talk about that potential strike. It's heating up. There's a big board meeting tonight, and we'll see what happens. 436 MeTV option 11. Connect with Me starts right now.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And we're back here on the program, Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno this Wednesday morning. I'm so glad you are here. Just a quick update. Tomorrow's program, we're going to have Jim Franklin in the house. He is the pastor at Cornerstone Church right here in the city of Fresno. He'll be talking about all sorts of issues. We'll talk about what denomination, his church. Every Sunday, he's the pastor there and gives the sermon. So we'll talk to him about that and some issues that are facing the city of Fresno and the Central Valley. Of course, that is tomorrow. And then on Friday, we got the one and only Brooke Ashton. I think he's going to be here. At least he says he is. As I said, there's a big board meeting tonight at the headquarters for Fresno Unified over on Salvari. They're expected to address the Brooke Ashton situation. We'll talk about the teacher strike, too, later in this program, the second half. For now, you're watching us live on Comcast Channel 375, as usual. It's live, Comcast Cable TV. If you don't have Comcast Cable TV, it's no worry, my friend, 13.1 and 43.6 over-the-air broadcast with an antenna. Later in the day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the replay is at 13.6 YouTube, 8 o'clock tonight, 4.6 Biz TV. So plenty of chances to watch this program. If you can only sit in for a couple of minutes today, you can watch the replay on 2 different occasions at 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock tonight. And then you can go to our Ventura Broadcasting webpage and you can hook up with Connect with Me and catch all of our shows, including today's program with our guest today, and including all the ones we've had the past 5.5 years. All right, time to talk about the SPCA. And let's roll the videotape. Let's just get right to it, my friends. You know, on any given day, you can walk through any animal shelter across the state, across the country, and adopt a dog. You can adopt a cat. And if you do, just keep in mind, you may be saving a life. There are so many no-kill shelters across the state of California, including one right here in the city of Fresno, the Valley Animal Shelter. And there are many more rescue groups out there as well. One of the biggest problems here in the Central Valley, though, not enough people are spay or neutering their pets. And that, of course, creates a major overpopulation problem all over the valley. Right now at the SPCA in Fresno, roughly 620 dogs and cats are waiting for you to come in and give them a forever home. In addition, they have roosters, they have hens. Keep in mind, there are anywhere from 35 to 65 strays that come into the shelter each and every day. And if you walk into any shelter across the state, including here in the valley, you will see dogs just like these, many waiting for adoption, a forever home, and you will see plenty of cats. Dogs of all sorts of breeds, colors, and whatnot. Live in our studio right now is Walter Salvari. He's been here before. He's a spokesman for the SPCA. Welcome to the program, Walter. Good to see you. How are you?
Pretty good. A little tired, but okay.
A little bit tired, but that's okay. We're all tired this morning. Anyway, let's just start off by asking you about the strays. I mentioned the strays in the monologue. Why are there so many strays, especially here in the Central Valley? What's happening?
So unfortunately, a lot of people do not spay and neuter their pets, whether it be financial or just their belief on spaying or neutering their animals. All the animals that we receive typically are not altered. So we get a lot of the puppies, a lot of the kittens, and we just don't have enough homes for them. And because of the amount that we receive, there's a lot that don't get homes and do get euthanized, and it's just the fact that we are an open door shelter. We're not a no-kill facility, and I highly doubt we'll ever going to be one. And that's, of course, a problem for the community because nobody wants us to do what we do. We don't want to do what we do. But unfortunately, somebody has to do the job.
Yeah, and is there any way to put a figure or a number on the number of strays that there are out there roaming the streets in Fresno? Because they're probably, I mean, not only do I see dogs and cats, but I've seen pit bulls, and pit bulls can be very dangerous. Not trying to bad rap pit bulls, but they've been known to attack people, and some of these dogs can be dangerous.
Yeah, and the unfortunate factor with that is that pit bulls and chihuahuas, we have so many of them out here in our community. And because we're so saturated with those animals, they get to be the ones that are shown that, oh, they're biting, they're out there because they want to have puppies of their own. There's not food out there for them to have, so they're going to be fighting, and people are going to go out there, oh my God, let me go get this animal out of the streets. And in that dangerous factor of them just being hyped up and scared, not knowing what's going on out there, and that's when we start seeing these bites. It's sad that they get the bad rep, of course, that, oh my God, they're going to bite somebody and this and that. But they are beautiful dogs. They tend to be great with families. We have these stories of people that just love them, of course, and they're great with their kids. But then we do have these stories that they bit, they mauled somebody, they killed somebody, and then we get people that, of course, say that they're bad dogs. And it's unfortunate.
If you see a Chihuahua, of course, and it's roaming the streets, would it be a safe bet to say that, hey, don't approach the dog just because it's small, just because you think it's not going to bite? It can still be dangerous, because if this dog's been on the street for a while, it's hungry, it's agitated, it's angry, so they will bite. Am I right?
Yes. The best thing to do is to call us. You don't want to just approach any animal and think, oh, I'm just going to pick them up. It's going to be great. A lot of the animals you can tell by just their demeanor, the way they look at you. If they come running up to you and just start licking on you, then great. Yeah, you know what? It's a social dog. But if they're scared underneath the truck, underneath the vehicle, there's a great video you have of that, of course, and you just approach it and put your hand underneath that truck, it's going to bite most likely. It's scared.
Yeah, the last time you were here, we showed that video. We don't have it today, but that was a great piece of video that we showed the last time on these stray dogs. But here's the problem. And recently, I think I was driving my kids to school, and there was a stray dog that was going out along, I think it was either Bullard or Herndon, okay? And I yelled. I said, oh my God, get out of the way. What do you do in that situation?
Yeah, of course, your safety is first. You don't want to veer off and think, okay, I'm going to not hit this dog if you're on a busy street like Herndon. And that's where we see a lot of these deceased animals, these calls that we get from the northwest side of town that, oh, there's an animal hit on the streets. And that's because a lot of people just run over the animal. There's no other choice in those kind of busy 50-mile-per-hour streets. And again, the best thing to do, if you see an animal out there running loose, 233 SPCA or 233-7722. We're open 233 SPCA or 7722. If you see them, give us a call. We're open 7 days a week for those kind of calls. Emergency calls is what we will take immediately, and that's if it was hit by the car and still living, still just sitting out there on the street.
Is that a 24-hour hotline or what?
If you do call that line after hours, after 4 o'clock, for instance, it'll tell you that we're closed, but stay on the line or hit 1, I believe, in order for the emergency call center. It's a third party that deals with the calls at night, but we only will respond to animals that were hit by a car or those that are sick or injured out in the community and take them to a facility for them to take care of.
But if I see a stray dog running across Herndon, and I call you, you're not going to come out and get that dog? Or?
Not after hours. After hours, we will not do it.
During hours, you will?
Yes, between the hours of 8 to 4 is when we'll go out
8 to 4, 8 to 4. And so, it's a scary situation because I was holding my breath. I don't want this dog getting hit, but I don't want to hit it either, nor do I want to injure myself or my kids. So it's a kind of a dicey situation.
Yes,
and every call is different, depending on how much traffic there is on the road. But is that common? People just pick up dogs on the street that they don't want them to, they want to get them out of harm's way?
It is, and a lot of the people drop them off over at the shelter, which is over at 103 South Hughes. We take a lot of animals over the counter, and that's what people say. We saw them on the streets. They came up to me when I came out of my house.
Right.
Those are the best thing to do, of course, is to try to confine them or bring them over to the shelter when we are open. And we're open 7 days a week from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock daily, and on Wednesdays 8 to 6 to take in strays.
Yeah. Hey, what about some people might be worried about, gee, if I get bit, is there a rabies problem here in the Central Valley, or is that a non-factor?
So annually we do track this, and we realize that we are seeing higher numbers of bites, and it is because of the overpopulation problem. And unfortunately, the counts are Chihuahuas, the smaller animals that get scared out there that are biting the community.
Biting back.
Yeah, and so of course they have to be held for a quarantine period once you're bit, and it bites through the skin for 10 days over at the shelter.
Okay.
And for these animals, it's hard to find a home for them because now they bit somebody, and most people don't want an animal with that kind of history.
Sure.
So we do have rescue groups, we do have other facilities out here that try to save these animals, but with these increase in numbers, it is a bad thing for our community, being the size that it is, that we're seeing so many bites now.
Yeah, but do we have any kind of rabies situation here in the valley?
We do not. Currently, we haven't seen any with any dogs that have rabies or cats.
We don't. Okay. All right. 436 MeTV, option 11. We'll bring some dogs up here. I'm allergic to cats. Okay, I'm allergic to cats and rabbits. But he brought a cat in, and the cat will stay on that corner, and I'll stay on this corner, but I think he brought 3 puppies, so we'll show them to you. I want to put those up for adoption. You can call in at 436 MeTV, option 11. We're back with our program here. Walter Salvari from the SPCA. Back in a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV Appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
Okay. All right. This is Autumn right here, a little girl that's up for adoption. Okay, Walter, how old for Autumn?
About 2 to 3 months.
Okay, 2 to 3 months, and this is a girl.
Yes, little girls. Both of them recently returned from foster care.
Is that a girl too?
And a girl as well.
Oh, we
Coffee
got 2
and Autumn.
girls on the set.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and talk about them.
Yeah, so they're like Chihuahua Terrier mixes, maybe some Dachshund in them, maybe some Jack Russell, and this is the type of breed that we see a lot over at the shelter that come in through the doors. They recently came back from foster care, which means they were just a little too young to go up for adoption, but they're now at that height, that age, and that
Whoop,
weight
Autumn, careful.
in order to go get their surgery and then find their new homes.
Oh, okay. Do they like each other?
Yeah, they love each other. The
all right.
3 of them that we
okay,
have.
look at them playing. Oh my God. Yeah, that's why she wanted to get away from me. It's like,
And this is typical, of course. Our little puppies are rambunctious, full of energy, and they're not going to be like this, of course, once you get them at home. They're going to start whining, they're going to start crying, and that's what we try to tell people, because they're puppies, they're little babies.
what do they want when they're crying?
Well, they want attention, and of course, you don't want to just hold them in your arms all the time, because a lot of people have families that just want to play with them and hold them all the time, and that's going to really get them always wanting to be around you. And we don't want these puppies that you just are annoyed with, of course. And it's just stuff that you really want to read on. And our website, ccspca.com, has that kind of information.
How many puppies do you have in the shelter like this?
So we have a puppy room for strays, and right now I believe we have about 25 in there.
You have 25 puppies that are just like
Yes.
this, maybe 3 months old.
Yes, and we have currently in foster care about 150 non-self-sustaining, which means they didn't come in with their mother, and they need to be bottle fed or just some little extra TLC before they can be put up for adoption.
Do they need to be bottle fed right now?
No, they don't.
They don't.
They finished all that. They now eat on their own, and should be probably going through the surgery today or tomorrow in order for them to go home for adoption.
Oh, okay. All right. And so what do they eat usually?
Kibble.
chow?
Yeah, just puppy chow. You don't want to give them canned food, because if you do, it does mess with their teeth. A little,
it does?
Yeah, a little Autumn right here is all
Autumn,
full
you're
of energy.
all over the place, man. What's going on here? What's happening? You want to jump up? Okay. Jump up. Jump up. Jump up.
But as you can see, 2 different personalities. One with a lot of energy, one right here who doesn't have that much energy in her. And a lot of people do want something like this for the like apartment living, the more active individuals that want to go to dog parks, hikes. And we have so many shapes, breeds, colors, sizes out there. And if you really are looking for a puppy, you're saving a life over at the SPCA.
Yeah,
Again,
you
we're
are.
not a no-kill shelter. So when you come out to adopt or spread the word, you're really helping the animals out here in the
Yeah, you
community.
sure are. And but But on the other hand, you have to take care of them once they get home, right? I mean, you can't ignore the animal because that's not doing justice to not only to yourself but to the puppy.
Yes. So, a lot of the times we get people that adopt an animal for somebody else, and we see them back within 2 weeks. And that's the worst thing you want to do, is just to get a puppy just because it's a puppy. And it's a life. And if you do that, you're really being irresponsible. And we try to talk to people about that before they just take an animal home.
It seems like they really love each other. They're like hugging and everything, getting close to each other. I forgot that one's name there.
This one's Coffee. That one's
Oh,
Autumn.
Coffee. Let me see Coffee a minute.
Right.
Coffee seems a little more calm.
Yes, very calm.
Coffee, come
Get
here.
over here, Autumn.
Come here. Coffee, come here. Hurry, Coffee. I know a couple of people around here want to take you home. So taking care of these puppies, is it like taking care of a baby? Because I have 2 kids, and I know what taking care of a baby is like, but what's it like having a little puppy like this?
So one of the things...
What are the requirements?
So the requirements for a puppy, you do want to make sure that you crate train them if you're not really home most of the time. Little puppies like this, they will get to your shoes, they will get to your couch, and they require some training. And if you have that time, of course, to sit with them and make sure that a dog just like Autumn here, who has so much energy, get that energy out of them by playing ball, running around the house with them. That's what they need. If you just get a dog and throw them in your backyard and expect it to be the perfect dog, you really should not be adopting a dog.
Well, so what should you do with them? I mean, what if you have to work? What if nobody's home all day? Can you leave a puppy like this home all day? Or do you have to have a doggy door, or what do you have to have?
So crate training, that's really what we recommend. If you put the puppy...
What does that mean?
And it's like a little black cage that you just lock them in, and that way
Or a
they're
big
secure.
black cage. I've seen those, yeah.
Not the carrier ones that you take them to the vet with. That's not what we
You're
recommend.
talking about the bigger cages.
It's the larger ones that we, if you go over to like the Petco's PetSmarts, even the fair, you're going to see them out there.
They cost about anywhere from like $60 to $100. The big
Yes,
ones.
and we sell them over there at the shelter before you adopt. If you want to go to our thrift store, you can pick one up right there.
Yeah, and when is the right time to spay or neuter? At what age?
So for the shelter, we do it at about 5 pounds. So two.
It's done by pounds at
Yes,
that age?
yes. 2 months to 3 months is when we typically like to take them in and get their
So
get their
they've
surgery.
already had their...
Not yet.
Oh, you said they're gonna get the surgery, and then okay, all right. So when's that gonna take place?
So once we get back, it should be done within the next 2 hours. It's really simple. They just go in there
And so
snip
they're
them up.
of the age and the right weight.
Yes. If they come in where they need to be bottle fed, we won't do it. They have to be eating on their
Because
own.
why?
It's just not healthy for them. Their immune system drops, and we have so many animals out
Then they
there.
get sick, huh?
Yes.
Oh wow. Let me see. Come on, Coffee.
You got
Come
it.
on, Coffee. Yeah, no, walk on your own. Go ahead. Yeah. You're so cute. All right, 436 MeTV option 11 if you want to adopt one of these, or you can call what 233 SPCA.
Yes, 233 SPCA or 7722.
Okay, all right. We're going to be back with more of Walter Salvari. Coffee and Autumn are going to be here waiting for your phone call, waiting for the adoption. And I'll hold Coffee up one more time there. Look at that, how adorable that is. Look at that. Don't you want to take her home? All right. Back in just a moment here on Connect with Me.
The following is another list of things you will not hear on MeTV programs. Man cave, baby bump, whatevs, double half-calf mochaccino, faux hog, redonkulous, totes adorbs, hella, holla, YOLO, cray-cray, and MeTV is still Kardashian-free. This is what you will hear on MeTV programs.
Welcome, Denham. The Twilight Zone. About Bulls.
I object, Your Honor.
Mr. Grant.
I hear you right. You heard me right.
MeTV. Thanks for listening.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
All right, all females on the set here, except for Walter and myself, of course. We got 2 more puppies here. Well, actually, Coffee stayed on, and Pumpkin is over there. Look at the color combination on Pumpkin.
Yeah, Pumpkin here, the same thing. Chihuahua Terrier, Dachshund mix. And as you can tell, a little Autumn here. She's a little low to the ground. This is Coffee, actually. Coffee's a little low to the ground. That's where we think the dachshund is there.
Okay.
They're going to be different sizes. They're not going to be the same once they fully grow.
Looks like maybe Pumpkin might be a little bit bigger.
Yes.
Once she gets grown.
Yeah, so anywhere between small to medium, which would be about 12 to 15 pounds once fully grown.
Right. And so, about how big will these get? I know you just talked about Pumpkin there, but generally speaking, how tall will they get? And will they be medium, small, range, what?
So if people have seen these, let's see, pugs and schnauzers out there, schnauzers tend to be on the small but a little taller to the ground. That's where this little black and white one should get. But right here for Coffee should be low to the ground. So for those that have like tall couches, tall beds, and you want your dog on the couches and beds,
You can get a stair.
you
can
can for little Coffee
little
right here.
dogs.
Yes,
Yeah.
but this dog right here is not going to have a problem jumping up and down off the beds and couches.
No, I don't think so. Once they get older,
Yeah,
and
if I can
that's when
hold
they have
them.
the problem. Yeah, do you want me to hold one? Of them?
Sure, that way.
Which one? Okay, come here, Coffee, come here. What do you don't want to jump off the set? All right. So talk a little bit about more about what animals, what kind of animals do you have there at the shelter right now, and what's I know there's an overpopulation of both dogs and cats. What's the most popular breed right now?
What we see a lot is the Dachshunds, Chihuahua mixes, the Pit Bull, German Shepherd mixes. That's what we
Okay.
receive through our doors daily. But lately, we've been seeing a lot of purebred Huskies come to the shelter. And there has been a little report, of course, the Game of Thrones that started the whole everybody wants Huskies. And unfortunately, the shelter has started to receive a ton of Husky and Husky mixes, purebreds too. They tend to escape, they tend to jump the fence, and
Because they're big dogs.
yes, and very energetic. And for people that don't have that kind of lifestyle that they want to take them to hikes or walks even around the block, they're going to lose their dog. They're going to get out of their yard. And we receive
And
about
are those
maybe 3 a
dogs
week.
worth a lot of money?
They
The
tend to.
Huskies?
Yes, we see them on Craigslist for $500 to sometimes $1,500. We have them there at the shelter. We currently have 2 over there at the shelter right now.
Why are they so expensive?
It's just purebreeds. Purebreeds tend to be expensive.
Like a German Shepherd, more expensive.
Dobermans,
more expensive.
Poodles.
Poodles, more expensive.
Yorkshire
A
Terriers.
Yorkie, more expensive. And so those dogs tend to get a lot more in terms of money.
Yes.
All right. And there are people that breed them. And if you want to buy a dog from a breeder, what should you look for? What are the caution signs? Give me some red flags.
So, of course, we never recommend getting from a breeder because they don't alter the animals. They usually just give you an animal straight out from right with the mother. We don't know if they have their vaccines. We don't know if they have anything that's going to protect them from diseases out here. And in the Central Valley, we do have parvo that goes around.
Parvo is?
And that's a stomach disease. It pretty much doesn't let them absorb water and food. So, and there's...
Can it kill them?
It can, immediately within 3 days. So if people buy a puppy from a breeder and take it out to a dog park immediately without knowing that kind of knowledge beforehand, that's when we see the puppies come to the door.
What if you fall in love though with a dog that you see at a breeder, and what should you do? Bring it into the SPCA, have it checked out, or what?
So
or take it to the vet, or
yes,
what?
definitely take it to your vet. Make sure that you get the vaccines. If they just wrote on a piece of paper saying that it had vaccines, that's really not a legitimate certificate. You want to make sure that it has something from a veterinarian saying that it received the vaccines. And
What
then,
if
of course,
if you're not sure? What if you're just not sure?
then you can just get them done again. It's just a series of
It's not gonna hurt
boosters.
them.
It will not.
Okay, just get them done again and get their tags, right? Okay, a lot of people are doing this. They're putting little chips in their dogs.
Yes.
Is that a good idea?
Very good idea, because
is.
if your dog gets lost and winds up at the shelter, we will give whatever information that chip has. And that's one of the issues that we find too in the community. A lot of these chips are not updated. So if you moved recently within the past year and your information is still the old information, we're going to send a letter out to that information if you didn't update it. And a lot of people think that, oh, well, they didn't call me. Well, we're only going to call that number once. And if you did not pick up the phone, more than likely, we're not going to get a hold of you throughout the week that it's going to stay there at the shelter. So make sure that those chips are updated once you get them done. And we do offer them at the shelter for $15 on Wednesdays.
Okay. I think Coffee likes me. I'd like to take her home, but I don't know who's going to take care of you, honey. Hey, should we take a break here? 436 MeTV, option 11, back in just a moment.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come into Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Do you have brothers or sisters?
Brothers or sisters? Nope. I got dogs. My name's Sarah Carson. I'm 22 years old, and this is my dog, Hero. We perform together.
Fantastic.
My first audition was pretty scary.
For me, it's a no.
I'm sorry, it's a no, too.
What?
It hit me really hard when I realized that, oh, I was going home.
Look, I've never done this before. Never, but I'm asking you, trust me on this. I saw something you didn't see.
I'll change it to a yes.
You have a yes from me.
Hero, you have a yes from me.
Honestly, I owed it all to Simon, because I don't normally have a lot of people believing in me. Growing up, I was pretty introverted, very shy, I couldn't connect with people very well.
Good boy. Nice job.
I loved animals, and I started to fall in love with dog training, and I wanted to pursue it as a career. Some of my family members didn't agree with it, and I haven't talked to them in years. It hurt. And that's about the time when I got Hero. His name is Hero because I needed a hero at the time. To just be there for me because nobody really was.
Are you the best co-pilot ever?
I kind of want to just show those family members that I can be successful at this, and it's something that can impact everybody. Yep, okay. Hi, buddy.
It's a better place since you came along.
Tonight, we're definitely taking in all the critique that we did get. Everything's going to be new and fresh. We've got one chance to get to the live shows. I hope that they see how passionate I really am.
All right, in case you didn't know it, that was Sarah and Hero, the dog, that appeared on the 12th season of America's Got Talent, and they finished in 5th place. And I want to show you the dog act, and I want to talk to Walter about this as I'm holding Russell. Little Chihuahua, a month old, is waiting for your adoption, waiting for a forever home, 436 MeTV option 11. I want to roll another piece of videotape, got sound, the dog act that Simon Cowell fell in love with. I want you to check this out on America's Got Talent. I want to ask you about this afterwards, Walter. Roll the videotape. All right, I've got to ask you this. Okay, here's Russell, a 1-month-old Chihuahua, right?
Yes.
And this is a he. Russell is a he. Hi, Russell. Hi, Russell. Russell's all over the place here, all over the map. But I got to ask you about the video that we just played. Simon Cowell fell in love with Sarah and the dog Hero, and you saw a second dog come into the act too. How do you get an animal, a dog, to do all those tricks? How soon do you start training?
So you can train them as soon as 2 months old for puppy training, of course. But at 4 months old,
can teach them to do that.
Now that any dog could learn, of course. Universal
kidding.
Studios has a little show that they put on from animals that they rescued from local animal shelters, and it's great to see when they take not just purebreds, of course, but other animals that look just like Russell over here, and train them to do those amazing tricks, of course. It's great for the animals. It's great for the community, of course, to see that their local animals are out there in show business and doing these kinds of amazing tricks.
Yeah, is it good for the animal?
You know, it's just training, and it's not like they're prodding them with any like circus animals, of course. It's harder for wild animals to do that kind of stuff than dogs. Dogs can really pick up these basic training kind of skills. I mean, they seem advanced, but really it's just constant repetitive training. It's really easy for them to pick up.
Yeah, she had an amazing story about how she, she didn't have any family, and her dog became the family. Hero became her family, and she trained her dog to do all those tricks, and it's really amazing. And she was actually voted off by the panel, including Howie Mandel.
Oh, wow.
And then Simon went up to the stage and said, I want you to change your vote. I have confidence in this young lady. She's going to be amazing. And they changed their vote, and they kept her on the show, and she finished in 5th place. So that was the 12th season of America's Got Talent. Now, this one's a biter. You're chewing on my thumb here. What's going on with that? What's up with that? Come on, Russell. Take it. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. Don't do that. So Russell is a Chihuahua.
Yes.
But by the way, I just want to say before I get into that, I just had to run that video. It was amazing. I had not seen it, and then I saw it, and I just said, when Walter comes back on here, you have to comment about that.
Yeah, it's great to see that. It's a good thing to see all these dogs running and doing those kind of tricks. It's just
you know what's amazing is to see the human connection between the animal and the human being. You find that striking?
Yeah, I mean, it's just great, to see how well she's connected with those dogs. A lot of people don't understand how smart they are, and they can learn those kind of tricks.
Yeah, they're smarter than we think they are.
Yeah, definitely. And any dog can learn those things. So really, we can't limit these little dogs, just like this Chihuahua right here.
How are Chihuahuas different than any other dog?
Chihuahuas tend to be needy. They want to be with the owner all the time. And,
all the time?
All the time. And they're good guard dogs. They'll let you know when someone's coming to the door, they're loud. And if you want a little siren type of dog, Chihuahua right here is a great dog to get.
Right. Okay, I want to talk, before we go here, I want you to talk about the cat. And I know you have to keep the cat over there because I'm allergic to cats. And rabbits, but go ahead. What's the name of the cat?
Sure. So this cat right here is City Kitty. It's a little black domestic short-haired cat, and arrived to the shelter as a stray. So we see a lot of these cats that come in just like this, where they have no home. They just bring them in through the door and drop them off.
Roughly how old?
About 2 to 3 months old.
Okay, and how do you judge how old an animal really is?
So it's typically by the teeth. We open their little mouth and we see how much growth they have in there, and based on that is where we guess the age. And it's always a guess. It's not really a direct thing, but we usually come around pretty close.
What's the final thing you want people to know about the animal shelter, or not the animal, the SPCA here in Fresno, and about some of the dogs and cats? Well, what's the one thing that you should that people should keep in mind? So,
we are a nonprofit. Yes, we do take taxpayer money for the stray animals that come into the shelter, but a lot of the animals that we receive are not by the strays. We do get owner surrenders, and we are a rescue agency, and we, as a humane society, we do need the public's help. We take monetary donations, we take blankets, we take a newspaper, and of course volunteers. If you want to come on out and play with little puppies and help us out, which we do need a lot of help, come on out to the shelter, 103 South Hughes, or ccspca.com for more information.
Okay, before we go, I want to run a little piece of videotape. It's got sound on it. It's called the Snip and Chip program, still in existence, right?
Yes.
The video will explain what it is. It's got sound. Go ahead and roll it.
Last year, over 26,000 animals were put to sleep in Fresno. Thousands could have gone to good homes. You can help by supporting or taking advantage of the Central California SPCA Snip and Chip program, which allows low-income families to have their pets spayed or neutered. Prevent a litter. Call today for more info. Last year, over 26,000 animals were put to sleep in Fresno. Thousands could have gone to good homes. You can help by supporting or taking advantage of the Central California SPCA Snip and Chip program, which allows low-income families to have their pets spayed or neutered. Prevent a litter. Call today for more info.
Talk about the program. We got about 30 seconds left, a little bit.
Sure.
What
so
it is.
It's a low-cost program for most individuals out here in Fresno qualify, and it's if you make $1,300 a week and or a month actually, and you want to have your dog or cat spayed and also chipped, come on out to the shelter. It's really, you just pay the $35 and we'll get you set up on a Thursday for an appointment. It's really simple, really easy, and if you have a few $100s over that you make, or you just want to talk to somebody and see if you have like 5 Chihuahuas that you
qualify.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes we'll push you through if you have a Chihuahua or Pit Bull, because that's really what you want to see. Get these Chihuahuas and Pit Bulls altered.
Okay, I appreciate it very much. Walter, you know, it's always good to see you.
Good to see you
and
too.
Russell, good to see you too. Hope you find your forever home. Wish I could take you home, but it's not possible. I wish I could take all of them home. That's what I'd really like. That would be great, but my kids would love it. But who's going to take care of them?
Yeah.
All right, that's the big problem. All right, 436 MeTV option 11. If you want to call the SPCA, it's what number? 233-7722. You got it, Walter. We'll see you next time, and we'll be back with our second guest here on Connect with Me, talking about the teachers' potential strike. Back in a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
As you well know, there could be a teacher's strike right here in the city of Fresno. Fresno Unified, of course, the teachers union, voting not too long ago, just recently. It was a vote by about 2,500 teachers voted in favor of a strike. And so about 13 teachers, only 13 out of the district said no. Now, keep in mind that there's a big, huge school board meeting tonight. They're going to talk about Brooke Ashton. They may bring up the potential strike with the teachers. The two sides have to come together. We have a guest in the studio here, but I want to roll a piece of videotape. Recently, as I said, they voted, nope, don't roll it yet. Don't roll it yet when I call for it. I want to roll a piece of videotape. It's got sound on it, okay? So I'm not going to talk over this. But basically, I'm going to set this up. John Bath is the teacher's negotiator. He works, of course, at Fresno Unified, Sunnyside. He's a history teacher. He is also the chief negotiator for the teachers. At that vote that took place at People's Church, here's what John Bath told the union members.
So I will go ahead and get to the nuts and bolts of some of the disagreements, but one nice place to start would be that this morning, I doubt many got to hear it because you're all working, but from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., I was on KMJ 580 with Superintendent Nelson. And we got to discuss this issue today, and I tell you what, I actually respect the man very much. He's a good man. But I felt like I had aces. I had the 4 aces, and he only had a pair of 2s, okay? He just does not have a good hand, and he repeatedly kind of made mention that he knew you all were gonna show up, and he knew you were gonna vote for a strike. He even at one point tried to take credit. He did at one point try to take credit for eliminating combination classes. Are we happy that we're getting rid of combination classes? That's a good thing, right? Okay, how did we do that? You all did that. You did that by going to these events. Fresno Unified did not get rid of combination classes until, what, 4 days ago? 5 days ago? They never did it. So I quickly on air said, wait a second, Mr. Nelson, you guys didn't make that change. Fresno Teachers Association got rid of combination classes in Fresno Unified.
All right, live in our studio right now is John Bath. He is the negotiator for the Teachers Union. You just saw him there at People's Church addressing the congregation, the teachers, the union members. John, welcome back to the program. A big meeting tonight. I don't know what's going to happen at the school board meeting involving Brooke Ashton, if they're going to talk about the strike. But give us an update on where negotiations stand right now, because you're scheduled to meet with the outside negotiator on November 6th and 7th. And then they're going to have a pretty much come to a conclusion as to what should happen. You got to wait for a recommendation. Where do we stand now? Have you met recently with district officials, including Bob Nelson?
Yeah, let me first unwind a couple of things there, and what you delivered there. First off, as you can see from the video clip there, this is clearly not FTA asking teachers or telling teachers what to do. It is the vast majority of teachers telling FTA that they do not want to strike, but they will if they have to.
What's the difference?
Well, no, there's a big difference in that we have a groundswell of support, as you saw in that video clip, and the teachers are going to have to make that decision ultimately if they are going to strike. FTA will not make that call for them. But here's what I want to say.
Hang on, caller.
Here's what I want to say. So, yes, we've been trying to work with Fresno Unified for over 460 days to finish this contract, but the problem has been they have not come to the table with proposals. And so, yeah, we do have, we are waiting now to prepare for a fact finding, which is actually November 5th and 6th. So that is a normal process when you have two parties that are stuck. What is abnormal is, once again, Fresno Unified has walked away from us.
But they have come back with a counter proposal that's not acceptable to the union. Am I right?
Well, let's clarify that. They came back with a counter proposal. They have not been willing to sit down and go through it with us.
What was the counter proposal? Was it on health care?
Well, here's the thing. The counter proposal was pretty much an advertisement is what it was. So that was most likely delivered to the Fresno B before it was delivered to Fresno Unified. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
It has many errors in it. They talk about reducing class size, but really they're talking about class size ratios.
It was a full-page ad in the
Fresno
B
ad
on Sunday.
And if you go to Fresno Teachers Association on Facebook, so go to Fresno Teachers Association on Facebook, you'll see where we mocked the ad up, and we gave it an F grade, and we pointed out all the inconsistencies. So it was an ad. So Fresno Unified spent $4,200 of taxpayer dollars that were sent for education. They sent that to Fresno B. They also spent $150,000 on advertisement so far, and they spent $64,000 on one day last week instead of working with us. They have not given us counter proposals on many of our issues, and they actually haven't been willing to work with us. Last week we heard from Superintendent Nelson. He told us he was essentially done. He's walking away, and he's going to put the education of all of our community into the hands of one single individual.
So, as I understand it, the counter proposal included an improvement in health benefits 90-10 instead of 80-20.
That's old news.
Right about that?
That's completely old news.
No, but I'm just saying that's part of their counter proposal, but they have not addressed the issue of salaries and class size and also helping special needs students. Am I right about that?
Yeah, but you need to understand, Fresno Unified, when you get involved in the negotiations of Fresno Unified, it's really more of a communications battle, because the truth is, the health issue, the 90-10, there's still giant loopholes in it. So that they message out such as 90-10, that's a good health plan, but what if your copays are $500? There's nothing to limit that. So it's just, there's always loopholes, and that's why you normally sit down and you bargain and you negotiate. But because Fresno Unified hasn't been willing to do that, so we've been negotiating for months. We would show up to work with them, and they would tell us it's going to be an early day, and they would take off. They wouldn't have materials. They weren't ready to discuss. And so now they're walking away once again. We hope they will come back to the table.
Well, okay, before I get to the call here,
sure.
These are yes or no questions. Would you be willing to accept from the health benefits package a 90-10 deal, yet you still need work on salaries, class size, and special needs? Am I right about that, or no?
There are 18 articles that are open that are expired. So that it's not just a few things. There's lots of things. That's why we spent so much time on it. I mean, I can't negotiate it on this show. I'm not the only one that makes this decision. But the issue is Fresno Unified should be working with us instead of punting everything to the fact-finding panel.
You met with Nelson just last week, right?
Yes,
And what happened there?
Well, on Thursday, he was messaging he was going to work through the fact-finding process, which is the normal course of events. But instead, what happened was he told us that he's punting. And he is saying...
Meaning what?
Meaning that instead of working with us and keep negotiating with us while we head towards the November 5th and 6th fact-finding panel, he is just saying, I'm just going to put it in the hands of that one individual.
The negotiator, the outside negotiator that's coming in 6th and 7th.
There's a fact-finding panel, and there's 3 parties. There's one person that we kind of pick. There's one Fresno Unified picks to kind of explain the issues. There's one neutral party.
Both sides are coming together with a neutral party in the middle.
Right, and it's a great thing. It's a good thing to get that advice, but it's a very abnormal practice to put everything on that one person because they won't be able to parse out. It'll be very hard for them to parse out all the individual things. And also, this would be like going to a marriage counselor and the husband saying, here's my problems, here's my issue. The wife saying, here's my problems, here's my issue. And the counselor saying, oh, this is what you do, and you walk away forever and solve it. That's not how you come to an agreement.
I want to clarify this. I don't know if you can talk about this, but someone told me behind the scenes that once the third-party negotiator comes in and is like a marriage counselor, basically sits in the middle and says, okay, here's one side, then here's the other, and then draws up a conclusion, okay, a recommendation. Someone told me after that happens that the teachers union, I don't know if you can verify this, will actually conduct a 2-day strike in early December. Is that true?
First time I ever heard it.
Okay.
So that's very interesting.
To your knowledge, no.
Let me explain how it works. When the report comes out, so the report will come out sometime after November 6th or 7th, probably.
That could take a month.
It could take up to a month. That's correct. When the report comes out, once that report is out legally, we have a right to call a strike.
But you can't strike before that report
That's
comes
correct.
out.
That's correct.
By state law?
Yes, that's correct. We cannot and we will not. Okay, so we cannot and we will not. So after that report comes out, and during this process, we would like to work day and night with Fresno Unified to solve these issues. We will meet them anywhere, anytime. We need them to bring some contract paper. So they want to talk sometimes, but they still haven't given us proposals on things like tutors for kids, on things like special ed caseloads. Okay. We haven't seen a lot of key articles from Fresno Unified.
All right, I got a caller waiting here, but let me ask you something. What is it if that report comes out before the Christmas break? Will you strike before the Christmas break happens?
The teachers of Fresno Unified FTA does not want to strike. So we are going to do everything in our power not to strike. So for me to message out that we're going to strike at any time would be actually completely false.
Okay.
We hope to keep working with the district. We hope to avoid a strike. We would wish Fresno Unified to work as hard as we are to avoid a strike.
But you're ready to strike if you have to.
If we have to, we will. And have to means Fresno Unified needs drastic change. Go ask some people. This is not a secret I'm telling.
All right, John Bath is here. He is the chief negotiator for the union, and he's been here before a couple of times. And so, caller, you're on the air with John Bath.
Yes, I'd like to ask Mr. Bath's opinion. That is, I saw President Ashton and Tish Rice on KC24 this past Sunday, and President Ashton was talking about how he believes that when it comes to classroom sizes, he believes that it should be a board policy. It should be made a board policy rather than being part of the collective bargaining agreement as to who decides class sizes. And he also said in reference to discipline that should also be made a board policy so that the school board can determine what is and is not a good discipline policy. How do you feel about that? Do you believe that the teachers should give away those rights in terms of their collective bargaining agreement and let the board simply have autonomy over class size and discipline?
Okay, thank you, caller.
Great question. So that's someone that obviously follows Fresno Unified closely. So class size is part of our contract. It's always been part of our contract. But Fresno Unified has used ratios. And in using those ratios, we see some classes of 42, 43, 44. So out there, would you want to see your child in a class that large? We certainly don't. Fresno Unified's budget has grown from $585 million to almost $1 billion. They can afford to do this, but they're putting money everywhere but inside the classroom. So yeah, we want to see that. Just like other districts, we want to see class size maximums put in the contract in a way with some flexibility for the district. Discipline, same thing. A lot of the stuff on discipline is just sometimes just putting in the ed code into our contract so everybody's aware of what needs to be done. And we're not going to abdicate our professional role to advocate for our kids. So Board President Ashton can make those statements. I think if the board would have made a class size policy that worked for the kids of Fresno, we probably wouldn't even have to address it, but they didn't.
Will the issue of a teacher strike, a potential strike, be addressed at tonight's board meeting?
I highly doubt it. It's not on the agenda.
Okay.
So it's quite possible that during closed session the board will address that, and we are eagerly awaiting any movement from the board and from Fresno Unified to actually use contract language to match some of the rhetoric we see out there, like that nice ad. If there was some contract language to support some of those things, it would be pretty helpful.
Yeah, and so apparently they will discuss, and I don't know how close this is to your heart. Now, you're here to talk about a potential strike and what's going on with negotiations, but the fact of the matter is today's front page of the Fresno Bee, down at the bottom, the below the fold there, a story about Brooke Ashton and the LGBTQ community and some of the comments he made to the Fresno Bee and some of the emails exchanged where Brooke Ashton is actually supporting those who are against the LGBTQ community. Do you have an opinion one way or the other as to whether or not Brooke should stay on?
Brooke,
or be censured?
Yeah,
or?
So I would say to this, we have 74,000 students in Fresno Unified. We have thousands of educators. Brooke Ashton's comments have never affected one single lesson in my classroom.
Okay.
And it is a very important issue, I understand, and it's something that needs to be handled with care. But we are negotiating a contract to improve the education for all of Fresno Unified.
I know that's separate from your negotiations, but I'm just asking your separate opinion about what's
but
happening.
I'm sitting here representing Fresno Teacher Association,
right,
so it would not be professional for me to give a personal comment
okay.
upon someone else's personal comment. So I really should leave that at that.
Yeah. Are there any meetings set up between now and say the next few days with Bob Nelson?
We don't have anything on the schedule in which we can expect contract language from Fresno Unified. I believe there's a meeting next week to actually discuss a little bit around some safety and discipline. But again, discussions themselves will only be fruitful if Fresno Unified is willing to put their words into actions by writing them down. And we haven't seen that on most articles in our contract.
Right, okay. What about meeting with Ruthie Quinto, where is Nelson the only guy that can meet with you? I think Quinto is like the financial person of the district. She draws up the numbers, but is she somebody that you can meet with, or does the union only want to meet with the superintendent at this point?
Oh, no. So Fresno Unified is always free to bring whoever they want to a meeting.
Okay.
The CFO from Fresno Unified, Ruthie Quinto, has been at many of our negotiation sessions.
She has?
Oh, she has, earlier on, yeah. So
what's her demeanor been like?
Well, I don't think her demeanor would be an important issue. I think what is important is that she has been tragically inaccurate in her
in her budget.
Yes,
in her budgeting.
Terribly inaccurate in her budget projections. Yes, year after year, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, 100 million. And each time there's a reason, there's an excuse, there's an explanation. It happens over and over. It's become an issue where the CFO, Fresno Unified, is kind of known for hiding the money from the board and from the teachers and putting in district policy, district initiatives sometimes. And it's quite frustrating to us because that money is sent to Fresno Unified to be spent every year on the students. And right now we have a $155 million reserve, which is a 17% reserve, which is the legal limit is 2%. This money is supposed to be spent on our students. And we're doing things like building projects with them. We just passed Measure X. We passed Measure X in Fresno. Why would we be using education dollars to build schools? That's not what the community sent. That's not what the state sent the money to Fresno Unified for. And that's not what the community expects. They expect you to hire teachers, buy books, work with students to improve education.
And are teachers just not coming to Fresno Unified to apply for jobs?
Well, you have to acknowledge that,
Is
right?
recruiting difficult now?
Oh, it's terribly difficult. So sometimes Fresno Unified will say, well, we're in a teacher shortage. But when you constantly belittle your educators and you try to crowd them in classrooms, you don't listen to them, you don't give them a voice in instruction. Downtown is not run by educators, but by bureaucrats and technocrats. You have a problem. So yes, Fresno Unified hires a lot of uncredentialed teachers. I believe in capitalism. And if you're a new teacher coming out, why would you come to a place that has the lowest top salary, third to the lowest starting salary, and then to be constantly belittled and misled by your downtown administration? No, it's not. This is not the job market of choice for teachers in this area.
All right. At that meeting that will take place on November 6th and 7th, will you attend that meeting representing the union along with someone else?
So again, the meeting is on November 5th and 6th.
5th and 6th.
Yes.
I thought it was 6th and 7th.
No, it's the 5th and 6th. And I will most likely attend, but we still have to work that out. There's an enormous amount of work that has to go into it. I will definitely attend the meeting. Okay. So I will be there, and I'll be there for preparation. But we have a few different members that will speak to different issues such as special education, class size, discipline.
Benefits, salaries,
so
all that. So you have your experts in each area for the most part.
Experts in each area will help us prepare it, and then a few individuals will help us present it, but it's terribly complex.
But as far as Bob Nelson is concerned, he's thrown his hands up from your meeting last week, thrown his hand. I'm done until November 5th and 6th. He's done, right? Is that what that meant?
Well, we're confused. He's trying to message it two ways. And we're saying, Bob, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that you're abdicating, you're stepping back and leaving up to this one individual that was not chosen or elected who might do a beautiful job. We don't know what the result's going to be. And then also keep messaging to the community that you're continuing to work with Fresno Unified when you told us that you're not. So at least not on contract language.
Both sides, after November 5th and 6th, and then the report comes out, the recommendation, both sides can reject that recommendation, right?
Of course. The teachers of Fresno Unified have said, we do not want to strike, but we will if we have to.
It's not only the teachers that can reject it. The district could say, no, we don't like that recommendation. We're not going to abide by it.
Sure they could.
Yeah.
But again, this is why, like we use that marriage counselor analogy, this is why we should be working together in common space, using paper, contract language. This is how it's normally done. It's not normally done where you refuse to meet. They refuse to discuss class size for 460 days, and then in other issues, and then they just bail and say this all has to go to the panel.
Hold that shirt up. What does that say?
So this is Stand With Students. And
really
this is,
quick, just hold it up to that camera there.
This is Stand With Students. This is a campaign that we began in 2014 to find out what the community wanted. And the community told us that class size is the key thing. It is the key thing that came up in all our surveys. It actually came up in a lot of Fresno Unified surveys. But Fresno Unified keep working from this ratio number. And just now, though, we are seeing the Fresno Unified, I'll give them some credit. They're talking about lowering class sizes, but again, they're messaging it as it's going to be impactful for all classes, but they're talking just 7th through 12th grade. They're talking 37 as the highest, which is still way too high, and they're only talking certain classes, but yet they're messaging out like they're moving on class size. And this is a constant theme, but when you have a $2.4 million communication budget, when you're going to spend $4,000 on a B ad, it's tough.
All right, John Bath. Glad you came in. Thank you for coming in again. I know
thank
you got to go back to work.
Yes,
you
I
work
do.
over at Sunnyside.
Thank you
for your time.
All right,
Thanks for the update.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, John Bath, the chief negotiator for the union and the teachers. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Leave a message. Big board meeting tonight at Fresno Unified. See you tomorrow with Jim Franklin. Have a good day.